lost him.
I thought you were gonna say Petr might take Sean down. I was like, no.
No. Hold on.
I don't want to see that.
I'm finna say that. Now, if we go look at the fight that he probably TJ should have got. Now, if TJ could have beat Petr, undoubtedly get that man a title shot. Point blank. Period. He deserved it. He earned it. This fight is crazy, man. And we talked about this a long time ago. Sean O'Malley is still only number 12. I know, but he's one of the biggest names in the UFC. But the reality is, he ain't even in the top 10. But people been so high on him for so long, and his performances have looked so good, a majority of them, that it's hard not to assume that he wouldn't be up there anyway. But if he wins this fight, he literally skipped over from number 11 to like everybody else. And I think he get a title shot if he wins.
I think they need to change the rule in the UFC where like fighters in top 5, it should be a 5-round fights.
100%.
This fight should be a 5-round fight, man.
100%.
I'm not gonna say nobody cares about the other fights, but fans will more likely want to see this fight, Petr Young versus Sean O'Malley, in a 5-round fight than other fights. Even if they took away 2 fights on his card, for the time reasons, they would rather see this as the 5-round fight, man. Because like this is what's gonna happen is I got a feeling this is gonna be a close one. But I saw a couple of Sean O'Malley like his interviews, and he kept on saying how they asked him, "Can you knock out Petr Young?" He kept on saying he's gonna try to win, and he's gonna try to win as any way possible. And he don't really look too confident. Like he didn't really sound too confident. Cause anybody else, Sean would have been saying 1st round knockout, 2nd round knockout. But we know Sean is one of the most confident guys in the UFC. So for him to say, I'm gonna just get the job done, is almost like, bro, like you gotta be more confident. I know he's the #1 fighter, man, but you don't sound like you were as confident as you was against Pedro Munoz.
Pedro and Petr ain't the same.
I know.
But
the energy, I want the same energy. When you fought Pedro Munoz, who's shorter and who's kind of don't have the best striking. Well, now you fight against somebody who's a striker and who will be in your face, man.
He took a tough fight on for a reason. And this is a win-win for Sean regardless. You know that, right? If he make the fight close and he lose,
I disagree because Sean can't have no more losses, man.
He only got one.
Yeah, but I'm saying the way he if they gonna promote Sean, like if he loses a close decision, okay, that's different.
That's what I'm saying. Now, if he don't get he can't get knocked out.
But if he get finished, bro, it's like nah, man, because we gave him a pass on that Cheeto fight because Cheeto on a tear now and he got injured. Okay, he had a couple excuses that fight, man. But if you lose to Petr Young, you get finished, like nobody gonna be backing him up no more. I hate to say this, man, but
I don't know, because you got to realize if you get finished by the #1 contender, and depending on how it goes, let's say worst case scenario you get finished. Reality is Sean can still beat all the guys from 11 to like 6. Like let's not you see what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. It's a win-win as long as you don't get completely
probably from 11 to 5.
Yeah, if we being real, depending on how look, I'm gonna be real. I think he could beat Corey. Look.
Oh God.
Look, I'm saying it's a 50-50, but I'm saying I believe he could beat Corey.
Because the thing that separates,
I believe he could be Song.
The thing that separates Sean is the speed, man. He long, so he can really fight. I think that's what he's gonna do against Petr Young. He's gonna just stay on the outside and fight smart, pop, and just fight safe because he has that talent to do that.
Petr is one of the smartest.
He give up rounds. That's the only thing. Petr, like historically, he's giving up rounds
not
a lot, man.
Not in a 3-round fight though. In those 5-round fights, I don't know what they.
Even when he fought, I know this was a long time ago when he fought against Uriah Faber. He kind of that first round was like, hold on, like did Uriah win his first round? And then the second round, that's when he took over, man.
And then it was like, yeah.
But I can see Sean get into his groove, but I can also see Petr attacking the legs.
And that's why this is such a great fight, man, because both of them got to bring their A game. Because if Petr can't sleep on Sean, because then you'll go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, Petr is a very dangerous fighter. Man, this fight is sick, man.
But will they work towards in favor of Sean O'Malley? Because there was another video with Sean when he was like saying, they asked him, can you replicate the Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor 13-second knockout? And he never really answered the question. But you got somebody who is aggressive like Petr Young, and you got another striker who's a counterpuncher. So do the math.
But Petr gives up rounds for a reason.
I ain't talking about giving up rounds. I'm talking about him getting countered.
No, but the thing is, Jose literally ran in with his chin up and Joe even said before that fight, he was like, man, Jose look kind of nervous right now. And the reality is Petr is aggressive, but he gives up the rounds because he's learning their movements, like he's reading them, and then he's aggressive, but in a calculated way. He's not going in with his hands down. Like he's countering everything they do. Man, they got shorts on YouTube where they're like certain things that people were doing, Jose and Uriah, and certain things that people were doing against Petr, and then they would show how the next round Petr was countering those same combos that was working on him, but he was countering them perfectly. And it's like, man, he really made the adjustment in between rounds, and now the other person ain't got nothing to offer him. Now he finished them, and it's like, wow.
You gotta be careful though, because Sean could end it in the first round too. So you talking about making adjustments, come back in the second round.
But if Sean wasn't aggressive on Pedro Munoz and he was calculated and careful, he got to be 10 times as careful to again. Like so,
because Petr has all the intangibles that Pedro have, the toughness, the durability, but he got all the skills, and the boxing, and he got the grappling. Let's not forget. I believe Petr lost the first 3 rounds against Aljamain, and by the first round, I believe it was by the slightest of margins. But I do believe that Aljamain got it just because Petr was waiting too much. I think if Petr had done a little bit more, then I would have had to say, well, you got to get on. But Petr was kind of waiting a little bit to see how much better Aljamain had gotten and stuff like that, and I think that cost him. I thought you were gonna say Petr might take Sean down. I was like, no.
Hold on. I'm finna say that. So the thing is, Petr lost the first 3 rounds against Aljamain, but then he won those last 2 very clearly. And I'm gonna be real. And I told you, I said if there was anybody else who didn't have the grappling acumen as Aljamain, Petr would have finished that fight. Petr would have finished that fight by submission, because at one point he had his back for a long time. Remember? What you think he gonna do if he take Sean O'Malley down and take his back? That fight is over, bro.
But this is a 3-round fight too, man. But
I know, that's like you said,
like he did against Jose. You know, we love Jose Aldo, man. But the same thing, Jose was winning rounds against Petr and then he started to slow down. If this is a 5-round fight, this benefits Petr. And has Sean O'Malley ever been in a 5-round fight? Well, has he ever? Well, he never needed to. I think he always.
Yeah, I don't think they've been making it. I mean, I think, and even by the time making it to the decision, at that point, the referee is about to save somebody's life anyway. To the point where it's like, old boy with the hair, Chris Mutino, he made it like it was like 10 seconds left to go, and the referee was like, "Hey, man, I gotta, this 10 seconds might kill you, man. We gotta get you out of there." But so that'll be an interesting fight, man. The odds is fun. Okay, let's look at the odds too, real quick. Okay, -170. Hold on, let me go back. That was an accident. For the main card, okay, we already talked about this. +150, -175, and we'll do a video about odds after this, dude. And because I might put a little $50. I might do a little something. I don't like giving away money like that though, But the -305 +255, you think that's fair?
For a little bit. Or the young, no, I don't think that's fair, because if you look at the matchup. Like, these are 2 strikers. We're not talking Petr Young not fighting against a wrestler who's banking on taking him down. He's fighting against a striker who's a counterpuncher who has one loss in the UFC, to where it's debatable on, like, he probably would have won if he didn't get injured. Who's to say, and I know we can't say what could have happened, but who's to say he don't get injured and he finishes? He's the first person ever to knock out Cheeto. You know what I mean? So that's very...
and that's kind of extreme, but even just to win a decision. That would have been...
Yeah, but Sean is supposed to be the knockout artist, though. We want to see knockouts.
But you can't get the knockout every time, though.
Especially against Cheeto.
He almost didn't get the knockout against a dude that took the fight on short notice, Chris Mutino. Yeah, because that dude was so tough, but that don't mean he didn't win very clearly. But,
yeah, it's fair, because -305, he fought for the belt.
Oh, speaking of odds, Beneil Darush is +160.
Because he hasn't fought in like 2 years, though.
But look at what he was doing when he was fighting, though. He number 6 he hadn't fought for 2 years, and he's still number 6. That should let you know. But I ain't gonna lie to that. But
this should be a 5-round fight too, man. If you think about it.
Yeah, this is a main event. This is a main event for like a fight night card or something. But Beneil Darush, obviously, we know what he could do, man. Submit you, knock you out. You know what I'm saying? He done had some stumbles in the UFC now, but he done got past.
It's funny how Gamrot, he beat Sarukian, and then he went up to be only 1 spot ahead of Sarukian, because Sarukian was ranked number 10.
Because the truth is, Sarukian should have won that fight.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story, man. I don't know how he dropped Gamrot. He dropped Gamrot in the 4th round. They ain't even credit him with a knockdown. It's like, what the heck? And Matuesz was dangerous, and he stayed in it. But I think he lost. But it was a good fight nonetheless. One of the best fights I ever seen in my life, though. But this is gonna be a good fight, man. Because where this fight even gonna take place is, obviously if Beneil keeps the fight standing up, he gonna have a power advantage. But Matuesz ain't no dummy though. Matuesz is not no dummy at all.
I want to see some improved striking from Gamrot. It's not bad.
It ain't bad.
Any means,
that's what I'm saying.
But the way against Sarukian, he looked like he was kind of hesitant, man.
Well, Sarukian was very dangerous, and he was doing a lot of things.
No, but Sarukian is more clean and fluid. Like, he can just, like, his boxing is better.
He trained at Tiger Muay Thai too, man. So you got to realize he was, his striking. But Matuesz,
man, because Gamrot fighting somebody he can't take down, and you're gonna have to stand up with, bro.
But Matuesz is. But the funny part is that's how the fight with Sarukian was, and they still gave it to him. Like they still, like Sarukian had the advantage in the majority of that fight. He was out striking him. He had to better the grappling exchanges, and Matuesz still got it. So he might be able to take that momentum here against Beneil. Beneil hadn't fought in a while. He might be rusty. But the only thing is, the thing about it is, the way to beat Beneil, that ain't how Matuesz fight. Because the reality is, Matuesz only used barely enough striking to start grappling. You don't want to grapple against no Beneil.
Yeah, but even if you go look at some of Beneil losses, like the Edson. Like,
bro, we're not finna compare no Matuesz.
Yeah, man. So
to 2017, I don't know when that fight was, but
the thing is, Beneil knows he has to finish Gamrot. I don't know what his game plan is gonna be.
It ain't gonna be on the ground. Both of them can forget that. Look.
Oh yeah, man.
Look, Beneil ain't finna.
Is this where Gamrot? Is this where his journey ends?
And I don't think it's where it ends. I think this is where we find out who he truly is. Because again, reality is this is supposed to be Sarukian fight to test to see if he going to the next level. But now it's kind of weird because it's like Gamrot got the fight and now he's here. But it's like, man, I don't have a lot to pull from your last fight, bro. Like I don't have the world.
Sarukian gonna be one of the Michael Johnson type guys, man. Who's gonna be losing split decision after split decision. It's just unfair, man. I mean, honestly, like it's almost like it's two Sarukians. Because sometimes he could be a little bit timid, but other times he knows that
he was super aggressive in that fight.
What's the guy name? He fought Joe. I can't think of the guy name. The guy he just was blood all over the ground. Oh, you talking about Joel Alvarez? Yeah, Joel. So it's like that.
But that's the one he was trying to do to Gamrot. But Gamrot's so good that it's like you can get Gamrot down, but it's only so much you can do with it
for like 10 seconds.
For like 10 seconds, bro. Like then it's like now what? And then your striking, okay, cool, but it ain't like you finna knock out no Gamrot, bro. You can forget that. But bro, you know what the crazy part is, man?
If Beneil ain't a left hand though,
I know. Now you right now, I would say this: Beneil got the power. So if he cracked Gamrot, obviously a submission guy that you can't just take down and submit, you can increase the chances of finishing him on the ground if you rock him first, because obviously at that point you don't have your wits about you or whatever. But at the same time, man, Gamrot is kind of crazy on the ground, man.
Like Jalen, what's the guy named Jalen Turner? You remember his last fight? He hurt the guy and then submitted him. Yeah. But the only thing is, Beneil ain't the fastest guy, man. So I mean, but he gonna make it a brawl. That's the only way he gonna win this fight, in my opinion.
But Matuesz, his striking ain't the best, but it's clean.
Somewhat, man.
He ain't gonna be sloppy with it, and like.
And then we seen Beneil. We remember when he fought against what's the guy named? Dang, the light skinned guy who fought in.
You talking about Drakkar Klaus?
Yeah, Drakkar, man. And Drakkar hurt him, and Beneil was like, "What?" He's like, "You ain't finna knock me out," and he went forward and knocked him out.
Crazy.
It was like, man, but Gamrot gonna stick to the game plan. He ain't gonna just do that, man. I think that's the way to beat Beneil. You have to have a game plan. You have to have.
You got to stick to the game plan. That's
if you make any mistake, bro.
And I'm gonna tell you this though, Gamrot can make a game plan.
Oh God, he can.
He can. I ain't gonna lie to you. For 3 rounds, he might not get the knockout. He may not get the submission, but I could definitely see him doing what needs to be done. I think that Beneil kind of got a little bigger of a name, so if a fight is real close, they might give it to Beneil because there's some interesting matchups up there, man.
We seen the Michael Johnson fight now, you know what I mean? When Beneil fought Michael Johnson.
What happened in that fight?
Because that was a close fight, but Michael won, but they gave it to Beneil.
I remember that one. And then that's what set off Michael Johnson starting a losing streak. When that was messed up. Okay.